Hi, my name is Anthony Polvanelli, here today to tell you about the 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250. This vehicle continues to find itself at the pinnacle for Mercedes-Benz of safety, performance, and luxury in a small, compact SUV package. Gives you a great all-around vehicle with a number of awesome features, and today we're going to go for a drive. For 2018, the facelifted Mercedes-Benz GLA underwent several changes to refresh it in the Mercedes-Benz SUV lineup. First, probably most noticeable thing is actually right here in the front grille. The double lamella design has taken upon it a little bit of the same style from our full-size SUV, the GLS, our flagship sport utility in this size, where you're actually getting a similar look, 3 sizes smaller. Pretty slick. Has the same sort of indented double lamella front grille. This particular one also gives you the illuminated star that you're starting to see on several of the cars as well. This one actually has the upgraded headlamp with the fiber optic effect daytime running light and the LED headlamp. A couple of things that changed for 2018 were some of the wheel designs, this being actually one of them. It's a new 5-spoke wheel design, as well as several additional looks that are new for 2018. This particular one's in the Jupiter Red. It's a really sharp color for us. Only available in the CLA and the GLA, so you have to be in this class to get this color. Now, power liftgate on the back, very easy to operate. You can do so from a switch on the back or from your key fob. Inside, you'll notice it has a ton of space. 40/60 fold-down seats, as well as a rear center pass-through. This is very easy to operate, and if you just pop down the cup holders in the rear, you do have a center partition to run long, narrow objects all the way through for skis or whatnot. A little bit of additional room under the load floor as well. Something nice with Mercedes is you do have your OEM sort of tire for any types of condition. They can run on a flat, and because of that, there's no need for a spare. You get a little bit of additional space under the load floor, makes it a little bit more practical. The opening height can also be set on this SUV. So despite its compact capabilities, the liftgate can actually raise quite far so that you have maximum utility for accessing it. If it's opening too far for you for your garage or just for your reach, no worries, you can actually set the height on it. Now, one other really cool feature is actually under the hood. The Mercedes-Benz GLA 250, despite being our smallest sport utility, is definitely no slouch. This vehicle features a turbocharged 4-cylinder motor, which actually produces 208 horsepower, 258 pound-foot of torque, in a 4-cylinder package. If it's not enough power for you, no worries. Mercedes-Benz does also offer the GLA in a 45 AMG level, pushing the limits up in the 400 horsepower range. Let's go and take it for a drive. All right, so this is the 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250. So this is a vehicle that actually came out from Mercedes-Benz in 2015, was an all-new vehicle on this A-Class platform. Now, at the present time, we do not build a A-Class vehicle specifically for the United States, but that will be changing. We actually have an A-Class sedan on the way, which is likely to arrive any month now, probably sometime this calendar year. And as you might already know, we actually build 2 vehicles on this platform already in the States, both what we're driving here, the GLA, as well as the CLA 4-door coupe. So what Mercedes wanted to do is they wanted to do a little bit of a refresh for 2018, just to do some updates with the technology, do some updates with some of the wheel and color options and trim options and whatnot. And what this also allowed them to do was make some minor updates to some of the timing and the transmission gearing, some of the changes to the command infotainment system on the Mercedes, as well as even some changes to like the dynamic select and several other features that we'll go over in today's ride along. So one of these changes, which is rather noticeable when you first sort of engage some of the controls with our control unit, is the fact that although it operates the same, the command unit has changed some of its menus. So if you go to the home screen here on the command on the new 2018 GLA, one of the first differences that you'll notice from this car as opposed to many of our 15, 16, 17 models that we've covered is the command unit on the floating display has now been split into two lines. So you'll notice that the same 5 primary options up top remain: your navigation, your radio, media, telephone, and vehicle settings. All of these can still be adjusted, renamed, moved around, but you'll also notice that now a second level of options appears on the screen. This just gives you a little bit more versatility with the tiles that you have on the screen in terms of having sort of hotkeys for whatever it is that you want to access. Mercedes is finding a lot of its users making very good use of this favorites menu. So because of that, we're trying to integrate more things onto the centralized screen. Just makes for a little bit easier navigation, a little bit easier moving around on the displays. Something else really cool that was integrated into this as well on many of our new vehicles, and the GLA being no different, is the smartphone integration. So many of our Mercedes-Benz vehicles now do feature technology from both Google and Apple, these technologies being Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's very, very simple to activate either by simply plugging the device into the central armrest compartment. Inside of the armrest itself, there are dual USB slots. The first USB slot will feature sort of your typical USB or charging icon. The second slot over will actually feature a small photo of what looks like a phone and a tablet sitting side by side. Reason being is because simply plug in your Android or Apple device into that slot, and up on the big screen you get your phone screen. So it's pretty awesome. Whether you want to use it for things like internet radio, for navigation, you can use it for audiobooks. Really a whole bunch of cool stuff can all be engaged right there on the big screen for you. Another nice perk is if you tend to use your phone for Bluetooth, not only will all the Bluetooth features work whether the phone is plugged in or not plugged in, but if you do have it plugged in for the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, your central display will display some additional phone info for you. So things like your contact list and your text messages, emails, things like that will all appear a little simpler for you in full color and displayed very much like that of your phone's operating system. So it's just kind of a cool way that you can get some of that nice phone integration onto your main display. And it's really a lot safer. This way you don't have to be holding your phone while driving. It's really awesome with like our navigation system. We have a lot of folks that do use their cell phones for navigation these days because just, being able to keep up to date and getting that up to the minute information. What's nice is now you don't need to hold that phone anymore. You just plug it in, get it on the big screen, and frees up your hands to drive. Speaking of safety, Mercedes likes to give you a lot of nice safety benefits on the Mercedes-Benz GLA. Our blind spot assist technology will actually light up an indicator icon when somebody appears in your blind spot on the left or the right side of the vehicle. Simply engage your turn signal while somebody is in your blind spot, and the car will indicate that to you with both a flash of the light as well as a beep. So just to demonstrate that one more time over here, simply engage the turn signal and you'll very noticeably realize that somebody's in your blind spot. The GLA also features a collision assist system known as active brake assist, which is standard on every Mercedes-Benz GLA, and it can also engage a series of sensors and actually slow down mechanisms in the front of the car, which are tripped when the vehicle senses that you're approaching something in front of you too fast. So this can actually engage the braking system on the car. It can engage the sensors. And what this is going to do is it's actually looking out for you with short range, medium range, and long range radar at all times. And if it senses that you're approaching something too fast, the car is going to notify you with a triangle icon up in the center display, as well as a beeping indicator for that too. Now, if you don't react, no worries. Active brake assist can actually apply up to 100% of the brake force for you, but it's really there in the event of a distracted driving situation. It's always best if you yourself do react, or at least try to react. Another great thing with the active brake assist is something that Mercedes-Benz refers to as adaptive braking. This Mercedes-Benz does have the ability to apply additional brake force even when you yourself brake. So if, let's say, very common in this area, a deer is crossing the road and you react at the last minute, no worries. let's say you apply 50% of the brake, but you need to apply 75, this car can actually apply the additional brake force for you electronically. There's also a really great attention assist system on the Mercedes-Benz GLA, which will let you know if you're getting tired behind the wheel. This will actually be engaged with a coffee cup notification on the center instrument cluster telling you to take a break if the car senses that your attentiveness level falls below the sort of standard baseline. It's measuring 72 parameters while you drive. Pretty cool stuff. Rather atypical to the rest of the compact SUV class is how quiet this Mercedes-Benz is. Generally speaking, in the compact realm of having a shorter wheelbase and a smaller car, generally road noise is very, very common in this size vehicle. Mercedes-Benz has done a great job of the GLA by providing additional insulation and even just how they sculpt and shape this vehicle to try to make it as aerodynamic as possible, helping not only to make the car more efficient and more performance oriented, but also too to make the wind that much less detrimental to the all-around acoustics and the noise that you get from the car. Road noise is reduced. A lot of that also coming from the suspension setup in this car. It's very nicely comfort tuned to where bumps, potholes are a lot less noticeable. It really does feel like you're driving one of our sedans or one of our coupes. But what's nice is you are up just a little bit higher off the road. So this does make things a little bit easier when it comes to ground clearance. And I think even for like visibility, this vehicle really provides a nice bit of visibility for being a compact sport utility. Very, very spacious size. GLA is a little bit of a deceptive car too when it comes to the overall space. You get the nice practicality too of this vehicle of our 4MATIC all-wheel drive. So you have all four wheels thinking independently at all times, and you have a system known as ESP, which is electronic stability programming, which is actually electronically assisting your steering at all times. So what's really cool is if you slide or you slip because of ice or whatnot, this car is going to help to correct that for you quicker than most all-wheel drive systems. And a lot of that has to do with the sort of being proactive with the steering, as well as what kind of feedback the road's giving the car. Fun car to drive with a lot of really nice changeable vehicle dynamics. A couple of cool things that you have on the GLA class for 18 are Dynamic Select, which does allow you to change actually one additional mode than prior iterations. We do continue to have several different driver selectable settings in our Dynamic Select on the GLA for 2018, in addition to the comfort and sport settings, as well as the individual and economy. A fifth mode known as Off-Road has been added. If you ever want to take your GLA off-road, it's a fantastic car to take on-road or off-road. The off-road setting is going to be a little bit more proactive when it comes to things like the DSR, which is your downhill speed regulator, as well as making some adjustments when it comes to the shift points for the motor and stiffness of the steering, all of which can be very quickly changed with the click of the Dynamic Select. Automatic economy start-stop is also standard, which will help save fuel. At red light stop signs, if you want the motor to turn off to help save on gas, leave the indicator light on. If you'd rather not use it, rather maybe you're driving with this little bit of a sportier feel, or you're sort of maybe coasting to a stop and rather not have the motor shut off at all, no worries. We do give you the ability to disengage the feature at any time as well. It's a very deceptively quick car. The turbo has almost non-existent lag, and a lot of that has to do with how torque heavy this motor is geared. 258 pound-foot of torque is quite a bit. That's actually, for a lot of cars in the luxury world, that's where a lot of sort of mid-sized sedans tend to live. So having 258 pound-foot of torque in a compact vehicle is really plenty. You feel like you have no shortage of power when you put your foot down. Mercedes-Benz gives you a 4-year, 50,000-mile comprehensive warranty coverage on every 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLA. A couple of other nice advantages are 24/7 roadside assistance, which is actually done by a dealer network across the country from Mercedes-Benz. No matter if you're driving local to Greensburg or in a different state, Mercedes-Benz offers the roadside assistance coverage to you anywhere. Several other benefits include pickup and delivery services with us here at Smail Mercedes-Benz, as well as Mercedes-Benz service loaners. These services are free of charge to our customers, and with a loaner fleet of over 30 Mercedes-Benz vehicles, anytime your car is in for service, you're never without a Mercedes. At Smail Mercedes-Benz, we try to do our best to give you plenty of information so you can make an informed decision about your next vehicle purchase. Part of why we put this video series together is so you really get a great opportunity to kind of get a little bit of a view even prior to driving this car as to sort of what it looks like, how some of the features work, some of the sort of benefits of owning a Mercedes-Benz GLA. But you really have to experience it for yourself. It's definitely, with any Mercedes-Benz vehicle, hard to just take what you have on the surface with the internet, whether it be from researching on Mercedes website or researching on even videos. Honestly, it's really great to sort of take this to maybe give yourself a little bit of a baseline, but to stop in and really experience the vehicle for yourself. Everything drives a little bit different, and the GLA, as well as I believe most of our SUV lineup, are quite different riding vehicles than a lot of sport utilities out there. There's a lot of really cool style elements to how Mercedes tries to position the GLA, from the power domes on the hood, which were made famous from the Mercedes SLs back in the 50s, all the way down to our mirror design, which is now synonymous on the entire SUV lineup. The sort of Hawkeye effect, fiber optic and LED headlamps gives you that sort of bird of prey effect with the front of the car, even down to the tail lamp design and how many of our vehicles are featuring a relatively similar style of design to the rear tail lamps. The GLA really makes for a great vehicle whether you find yourself making a first foray into the Mercedes lineup, or perhaps converting from a car into an SUV. Many folks find the GLA to be a great option either way. Having this nice big screen helps in a lot of ways, including when you go to back up, you got this nice big display with the little tracking lines and proximity lines. Shows me where I'll be when I straighten up and shows me where I am as I'm turning. So I know if I'm getting close to the lines, I know if I'm getting close to the sign behind me. Pretty slick. Can even change the camera angles on this guy. I mean, I can see the shadow from 2 cars down both ways. That's pretty awesome. Makes it pretty easy to back up.
Well, that was our ride along in the 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLA. Hope you had a great time checking out some of this vehicle in our footage today. Please stop by our showroom right off of Route 30 in Greensburg to check one out in person for yourself. And in the meantime, check out our other videos and our information on the web at smailmercedesbenz.com. You deserve a great experience, so please visit us here at Smail Mercedes-Benz.